everybody. I am on my way to the store before the storms come in, and we're supposed to have really bad storms today, and we have company that got in yesterday, and it kind of surprised me because I didn't know what time they were going to be here. They had to drive for a long while. You never know exactly, and it's supposed to storm and really bad today, so we're going to be inside probably most of the day. Anyway, it was reminding me of some things, and I'm not going to say, like back in band camp kind of thing. And that's because I was never in band, but I was a math whiz. Yeah. Started off as a math and computer science major. I don't know why I changed, but actually I do, because I said I wanted something more challenging, so I took psychology. But I learned how to program in BASIC and Pascal, so I'm telling my age here. Yeah, and I don't say dating myself because people say, well, anyway. A little bit of weird sense of humor. I just woke up, as you can probably tell. So to get on with it, this little vlog more. I was thinking about, I'd been talking about before. I mentioned some things, and I've never given any update on them. One of them was the self-isolation thing, and I know some people say that that's a sign of depression, or at least situational depression. And no, that was for my own healing, time to sit and think. And I wasn't totally isolated, of course, but more than, my usual. So having company over this weekend is, it's one of those things that I had been thinking about. I'm going to wait because there's a police officer coming, although you can turn. Squirrel moment. But the self-isolation, I did that. This is what it reminded me of. And that's not a police officer. But anyway, I did that before, but it wasn't by choice. It was by, I don't know what you call it, but I had been living by myself, and I was taking care of my mom every once in a while, and she went back to her home, and I think she was here for like 3 months or something, and I had this awful job that I had during the while, and I quit that job, so I was by myself in a small apartment where I was, taking care of her, and it was so small that I felt like I wasn't getting enough exercise, of course. And I didn't like to walk around the neighborhood and everything, so I would make myself go out every day and go somewhere, even if it was just the grocery store, walk around and buy a little something, like I have a purpose there for exercise. And it wasn't until I moved back here that I realized how much I'd been alone. I realized it while I was there too, but and I wasn't getting enough exercise. Even though I was doing that, it just still wasn't enough exercise. And I think I'm still now, like paying the price in a way. So I don't know what happens that we stop realizing it. We stop thinking, not realizing, but thinking at some point. At least I did, that exercise was like something that was not in the forefront of my mind. You know what I mean? Okay, and I do wonder when that happened, but I'd always had jobs that were where I was very active, mainly office jobs, and I was very active, so I never really thought about that, except one time when I went to see a doctor, and the doctor told me that I had to exercise more than just what I did for normal everyday work, normal everyday all around. And at the time, I was a job that was, people can't believe that I actually did it, and I did for a couple of years. When I was in my 20s, I was very different with what I wanted to do then, but it worked around my schedule for my class schedule and everything. And it was a very active job, and you would never believe, people still don't believe that I did that. Guess what it is? Okay, almost had a traffic jam here. two and me exited at the same time. Packed up. Anyway, I'll give you a hint. It's a male-dominated field. I think it was the only male-dominated field I ever worked in my life, and that was back in the 80s. And I was known as that bleep female electrician. Yes, I did electrical work, residential electrical. Basically, certain places in Texas, Florida, and Georgia, I wired apartments. Sure did. Mainly apartments. And that was a trip, let me tell you. And like I said, it worked around my school schedule. You know, I was in college, and we moved around a lot back then, so that's what I did. And it was fun. It was a very active job, really. And I made more money then than I can say than I have ever since. Really, seriously. And we all know, I mean, some of us know, young people don't know, that what they want to pay these days for women, female jobs, you know, female-dominated jobs. Okay, let's get that straight. Female-dominated jobs, except for maybe a couple of the professions, is the same that they paid back in the 80s, and even less in some of them. Yeah, because I was making more when I was in my earlier 20s, working in an office at a cable company, than what they pay in something similar now to start off with. You know, and that's crazy. That's a shame. I'm doing this stream of consciousness thing again. But yeah, you know, I did that. It paid a lot, and that's why I was known as that bleep female electrician, because I made a lot of money. It was piecework. That's what they call it back then. I don't know what they call it now, but you know, with subcontract. And the more I did, the more I earned, and I was really fast doing it and really neat. It was always up to inspection and past inspection, and it was very neat. That was the biggest thing. One of the biggest things. Plus, I was fast. You know, being neat sometimes makes things go much quicker. Really, if you do it right the first time, get it done. You don't have to go through it. You know, that's where I learned that inspection would pass right away. And I actually back then, I got fired off of one of them, and me and Adam worked together. We were married back then, and he was the electrician. He's an electrical engineer now, but software developer. But you know, we worked together, and I was basically his helper, and he would get the subcontracting job. So they fired me. They said that they couldn't have a woman on the sites because it was too dangerous and their workers' comp would go up. Yeah, I lived this in my lifetime. I've lived a lot of these things in my lifetime that, you know, these younger people don't realize. So when I see these women against, feminists and stuff, they don't have a clue. They really don't. You know, they are benefiting from our hard work. You know, the people who came before us, but they're fighting against it. But yeah, when I was in graduate school, I wrote a paper about this, and it's around the mid 20s that they start to get a clue. You know, I was asked to publish it, and I was in a mood. I mean, in a time in my life when I was just saying no. But I was asked to publish it because it was something that was very, very important, and I wish I would have. But yeah, it was about the developmental stages of women through feminism. You know, through feminist understanding along that line of why it was needed. What, you know, their world stops being the oyster that they think that they're an oyster that they think that it is. And it's like in the late 20s. It was around age 30. That's right. But they start to realize, no, it doesn't work for that way for me anymore. So, and they start to realize why it's important. Yeah. I went on a tangent, didn't I? Yeah, so it gets me that it was around age 30 to 35. I'm remembering, you know, I'm older, much older, that women start to realize this was my theory, that the things that they were kind of blind to because they were young and it didn't really apply to them when they were young, that it started to applying to them when they got older. It really bothers me when I see women are fighting against this, and even older women are still fighting against, what benefits. I mean, what feminists did. Now, I know you're going to go and say, oh, well, they're about the rabid ones and all this. Well, they're not all. There's so many different types. But they did make a lot of changes for a lot of people, especially like not only women, but children. And some people just don't realize what benefits they have. Okay, and the thing about it is it's not just that it benefits. If it's going to benefit women and children, it's also going to benefit every human, everybody. If something benefits males, it benefits women. You see? So if it's something that benefits women, it's going to benefit men. But people don't want to look at it. They've heard so much of these people who are truly rabid that make comments about feminists. Like they're just some man-hating, social justice warriors. That whole social justice warrior thing. You can tell there's so much anger and hatred for anything that's decent. And the people who talk about that, they're just very angry people. I really do feel that they're in that stage when they're having to, they fight against it, but they're having to wake up to the reality of the world, and it's not all what they think it is. So they fight against the people who are trying to make it better. It's like some of them are rebels. They just want it bad because they get away with everything, and there's no rules, and they want anarchy. This kind of crazy stuff. And so they just fight against everything. So then they fight against the people who they think they make them into something awful. That there's any decency. So yeah. That's another topic. I mean, it is enough of this. Okay.